Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I am Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries. Now, in case you have any question regarding the stocks in your portfolio or they are coming afresh on your watch list, then this is the show that you need to get all your stock queries getting solved. With top market experts who join in on the show, the WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. So don't waste any time. Send in all your queries to get them answered by top market voices. Also, you can alternatively use our YouTube platform where you're watching our show live on. Use the comment section to send in your questions as well. Also, don't forget to mention your name, location and your contact details when you send us your questions there too. Now, let's welcome our guest on board. We have Akshay Bhagwat, Senior Vice President, Derivatives Research at JM Financial Services, joining in. Warm welcome to you, Akshay. Good to have you with us again. What we are seeing is that some of the momentum is getting dwindled again, 80 points lower, 23,600. So the volatility is pretty high. I think this is also to do with another big event that's coming tomorrow. So there is some nervousness again. How are you playing the market sentiment right now?
Well, the first part is we had a good relief rally from 22,800 to around 23,800. That's a 1,000-point recovery, and that's been more one-way rally. Now it's a completely event-driven rally because if you look at budget was the first trigger for the market. So domestic events are what the market is focusing at. Delhi elections and RBI policy are the next two events which will be keenly watched. And obviously, the meeting of the Prime Minister Modi with Trump is the second most awaited event. So I don't think there is much of a downside here, at least considering the 3-4 events which are lined up. 23,400 is a very important technical level which has sustained. So that's an important support which is building up from a short-term perspective. My sense is one more leg of rally is there, which can see the Nifty test 24,000 to 24,200, and there's where a review has to be taken. So overall, still maintaining a positive short-term view on the index, which can see the best case working out as 24,200. The view remains intact till we hold 23,400.
Okay, got that. Let's start taking some questions then from our viewers there, Akshay. We have a lot of viewers joining in on our YouTube. We have Satya, Peter Raj, Vinita Gupta, Mr. James, Tekpal Bhatia. Warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining in with your questions. We'll start taking your questions. Satya says, good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon to you, Satya, and good to have you with us. He wants to know on two stocks. One is Indoco Remedies, and he has this stock in his portfolio. He bought it at 325. And the other one he has is Alembic Limited. And here also he bought the stock at 130 levels. Now he wants to know what are the next levels to continue to add his positions, and in case you believe that these are the two right stocks to hold for the long term. Indoco Remedies currently at 278. So it slipped below his own purchase price. Alembic Limited he got at 130. On both these stocks, is it advisable to average?
First, Alembic Limited. Well, I think this is more getting into a range, as I understand. The longer-term trend is still strong, so I believe short-term it might kind of slip a bit further till the levels of 100. That is what the initial sense is looking at the price chart. So in case you are keen on averaging, you need to hold on a bit till levels of 100. That's where you can consider averaging this stock from a long-term perspective. Now, the other stock is Indoco Remedies.
Correct.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's traded on BSE, is it? Because
yes, it's at 278 levels today, and about a 0.8% of a move on the higher side you can see, but it's been a choppy day again for Indoco Remedies again. And if we stretch the charts a bit for Indoco Remedies over the last 3 months, over the last 6 months, then you'll be able to see the chart pretty soon on your screens also.
I believe this is more of a range-bound chart, which I see, and I think this would has been in a weak bear grip since long. It's trying to recover. So I think here you can give it a miss for averaging this stock from a longer term perspective. Continue to hold as it is, and probably look to take an exit around the levels of 300 to 310 odd levels. So looking for 300 to be tested in the next couple of months. That's the level where you need to take an exit. The other stock, Alembic, is where you can average it out on the lower end at levels of 100.
Okay, hope this has answered your question, Satya. Let's take another one. This is Peter from Trichy. He says, I'm a long-term investor and I want to take a fresh entry into Nesco and Time Technoplast. Which of these stocks could be having a potential to become a multi-bagger after the 5 years? Okay, Nesco or Time Technoplast. What are the charts really suggesting to you, Akshay, here? Do these stocks have the potential to really double investors' wealth, to give multi-bagger returns if one holds a 5-year time horizon on both these stocks?
Yeah. So individually, I'll consider Nesco first. It's in a very
Okay.
strong uptrend, and I believe the trend is still there and is expected to remain firm because there are no signs on charts as yet that it is kind of stagnating in terms of the momentum pickup. So yes. Multi-bagger, I'm not really sure, but at least target still 1200 is what I can project going by the current data reading. So 900 is the support, 1200 is the target. So that's the target you can look forward to. Positive view, continue to hold. And the other stock is Time Technoplast, if
Technoplast,
I'm not
that's
mistaken.
right.
So, Time Technoplast, yes, the prior month was a bit of a pain point, significant short profit booking noted in this script, trying to regain its ground. So, yes, from a longer term perspective, there is no major damage as such, but considering the last month's price action, it will take time to recover. So, right now, 360 is the support zone. It will be under a time correction, which may extend for the next 3 to 5 months. 490 is the projection that's near the all time high. So, the suggestion is the other stock is better than Time Techno. Time Techno, if you have it, consider an exit once it recovers near 490 to 500 from 6 months to 1 year perspective.
Okay, better to choose Nesco between the two right here. That's the view coming in for you, Peter, from one of our guests, and that's Akshay Bhagwat. And let's look at the other question, and this is from Vinita Gupta. She says, good afternoon, Sakshi. I have Skipper India at 560. I want to know if it is the right stock to continue holding or should I sell this stock right now? Okay, first up, good afternoon to you, Vinita, and good to have you with us with your question. Skipper came out with the results also. Here the net sales rallied 41.6% on a year-on-year basis for Skipper. This is for the consolidated December numbers that we are seeing. Profit came in at 36 crores. And this has also jumped 76% from last year same quarter. So results are coming in strong. We're also seeing the EBITDA stand at 114 crores in the December quarter, again up 44% odd from the last year same quarter. Stock reacted positively. We have seen a 2.2% uptick, 477 currently. And let's see. Since you have it at 560, which means you have a higher level of purchase, let's see whether those levels can be seen after these good set of numbers that have come in. Akshay, any suggestion on Skipper?
Yeah. See this. If I look at the price charts, I think again with the selling which we have seen in the small and the mid cap space in the last couple of months, most of the stocks you will pull up have been in a rough patch, and they are trying to recover their lost ground in the last few days of momentum pickup which we had. So yes, the longer term charts are still positive. It is the shorter term pain you have to go through. So from a longer term perspective, continue to hold. It might take some more time to recover. Somewhere or the other, there is a consensus building up that 360 to 400 is the support zone which the stock has built. Overall, I'm expecting 600. That's again the near the all-time high you can consider, and above that 725 is the target you can work with. So from a longer-term perspective, yes, continue to hold. In case you're open to averaging, 400 is the point where you can further add on dips.
Okay, we have some questions coming in on our WhatsApp, so let's shift focus there as well. Let's take first question, and this is from Harshit Kochar. He is from Delhi, and he wants to know on ICICI Bank options if you could suggest any trade there on the option call as far as ICICI Bank is concerned. Any suggestion?
Uh, See, tomorrow we are dealing with a major event. That's the
Yeah.
bank policy, and it can be a major make or break event for most of the banking names, because there's a lot of expectations which have been positively built in the banking pack. Banking has been in under severe pain since last few months, and a good recovery attempt has been made. So yes, you need to consider these factors. Now, from an ICICI Bank perspective, price chart reading is strong. Overall, the expectation is that 1240 is the short-term support, and you can look at targets of 1320 on the upside. Now, really, if you want to participate in this via options and you're open to buying calls, then the strike you select should be 1280. That's the call you can buy. Stop loss here you will have to keep basis spot. So 1240 is the stop loss which you need to put. And in case the stock rallies to 1300 by the mid month, that is the point where you book out a profit. So easily, if it does recover by the next 3 sessions, you can easily see 70 to 80% gain in the option premiums from the point to buy. So this is the best option trade working out for ICICI Bank.
Perfect. Okay. Hopefully, Arshad, you've got the answer to your question. Let's take the next one. This is Satyan, and he's from Kerala. And he says that I'm a bit puzzled by the way results are reflecting on stock prices. Example, Aarti Industries, results were not very good, but the prices shot up, whereas NLC posted good set of results, but we've not seen too much of a surge on this one. So I want to know what should be my strategy on both these stocks. I'm holding both these stocks, and on NLC I have at 140, Aarti I have at 540, and my both time horizon for both the stocks will be 1 year. And if I could please get a stop loss as well as a target price for both these stocks. So sometimes what happens, Satyan, is you have to also see in the run up to the results, if a stock has really rallied quite a lot, then there could be profit booking after the earnings, even if the earnings are good, because then there is a belief that most of the earnings goodness was already priced in. So you also have to study how the price movement was ahead of the results also. So look at that factor as well. But so far we'll take both of your stocks and get an expert view from Akshay. Let's start off with NLC India, currently at 220, 1.4% down, and his purchase level was 140 here, so he's still sitting on profits. So it's not like it's a tough situation. He's handsomely sitting on profits. What should he be doing now?
Yeah. So first of all, on the result front, which you mentioned, Sakshi, you're absolutely right. Market thinks 2 steps ahead than what we from the point we start thinking. So obviously, you need to be a bit ahead of the curve. And look at NLC India. I think somewhere or the other, stock from a 3 to 6 month perspective has always been vulnerable to profit booking at the levels of 275, 280. So those are important technical resistance points. Right now, 200 is an important support zone from a short to medium term perspective. I'm expecting a recovery from the current levels, which can again see the stock revisiting levels of 260. So the trade setup is you keep a stop loss of 192, and on a recovery around 260, it's prudent to take an exit or book out your profits. If you
And the other, the other one was Aarti Industries. Here he has a purchase level of 540, and that's actually come down from his own purchase level. What are the signs that you're seeing on the charts right now?
Well, see, the longer term price charts are absolutely strong. Short term, it is subject to choppiness or fluctuations. So, somewhere 380 to 400 is the support zone, which you will see holding out strong going ahead from a 3 month perspective. The sense is that looking at the price volume action, there can be a recovery, which as of now, the best case works out till 650, 650. So from a 3 to 6 month perspective, which you're keen on, 650 is where you can look forward to. That's the point where you need to take out your profits or book your positions. Overall, hold with a stop loss of around 375 on this trade.
Okay, got that. We'll take some more questions. Let's go back to some of our YouTube queries that are coming in. We have Mr. James writing in, "Hi ma'am, I have LNT shares, 200 shares at the rate of 3,480. I want to know a near term and a short term kind of a target for LNT. Okay. Usually when the budget comes in, L&T being a poster boy of the infra story usually gets on to a lot of momentum But this time around, because the capex announcement was not even made in the budget speech, there has not been an enthusiasm that has been seen on L&T. But looking at the price charts, right now, Akshay, anything that you'd like to suggest? 3357 right now. It's come off our viewers' purchase level of 3480. By when do you see recovery taking place in L&T?
The major disappointment has been the capex, and
Yeah.
this has hit hard most of the companies from this sector, even the cement pack. So, luckily, the best thing is after the budget reaction, there has been some bit of a recovery in the last couple of days. Really, technically, the levels of 3200 is an important landmark for the stock because right from 2024, time and again, this support has worked extremely strong for this stock. But looking at the no reaction from the budget, overall market sentiment, I think it is time L&T may break 3200. So that is some risk you may get into. So the advice is keep a strict stop loss below 3200 in case those levels breach going ahead. There can be a pain point from short term in this stock. So advice is hold, but with a strict stop loss below 3200.
Okay, fair point. We'll take another one. This one is from Ankur Modi. He says, "Hi Sakshi, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well." Very well, Ankur. Good to have you here and hope the same for you. He says, "Can I buy Ola Electric at the current levels for the long term?" And the other one he's asking is on Imagica World. Let's take them one by one. Ola Electric first. Again, this has been a stock which has been extremely volatile. It surges when there is news of new launches coming in, etc. When there was some announcement in the budget also for easing of some of the batteries, which could benefit the EV related players. But again, the earnings have not come up to the mark and the stock has actually not had a fair share of, a trade. 3.5% lower even today at 72 odd levels. So those who've been holding since IPO levels also have been disappointed with the kind of move that the stock has shown post the listing. Very less charts for you to study, Akshay, here. But so far, whatever that you have, what is the suggestion for immediate term?
From the price point, I think post listing somewhere today we are trading below the listing price. So somewhere there is absence of demand, which I foresee because really after a strong listing, the kind of sentimental momentum with the stock picked up after the listing. There was strong buying from a lot of brokerage houses too, but somewhere the kind of reaction which we are looking at doesn't give you comfort that this is a candidate from a long term perspective. So pain is still there to go. There the stock might head lower going ahead, and the recommendation is to avoid the stock as of now, completely looking at the price volume action. So avoid is what I would suggest as of now for electric. And the other stock, if you can please mention the name.
Imagica World. He wants to know what is the suggestion on the current levels for long term. Can this stock be considered?
Actually, Imagica World Entertainment. So here,
Yes.
the price chart is better compared to Ola Electric. There
Okay.
has been good volume action, which I foresee in the last few trading sessions. Strong volume bars are evident at the levels of 60 to 70 odd zone. So clearly, this stock is in the process of accumulation. And if you're considering from a long-term perspective, yes, completely based on the price chart, I think this is the name you can bet on. It will take some more time to recover because after IPO listing, the stock has seen a significant fall. So yes, your stop loss should be around 40 and you can keep a targets of around 115 on this trade.
Okay. We have a caller with us, Rupesh Agarwal from Parbhani in Maharashtra. Rupesh ji, namaskar. कैसे हैं आप? रुपेश जी, क्या आप सुन पा रहे हैं? जी, पूछिए क्या सवाल है आपका?
मेरा JSW इंफ्रा पे है।
ठीक है, खरीदा है आपने?
हाँ हाँ, JSW इंफ्रा खरीदा है मैंने। 9,000 शेयर है मेरे पास।
ओके,
एट द रेट 274।
ठीक है। और लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए बने रहना चाहते हैं इस पर?
हाँ हाँ,
लॉन्ग टर्म, ठीक है। JSW इंफ्रा बताइए अक्षय जी, 274 पर खरीदा है, फिलहाल 259 पर आ चुका है, तो खरीदी लेवल से नीचे आ चुका है। लॉन्ग टर्म के निवेशक हैं, बने रहें, एवरेज करें या किस तरीके से आगे बढ़े स्टॉक पर?
तो मेरे हिसाब से लॉन्गर टर्म में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आपको बने रहना चाहिए। स्मॉल मिड कैप के कार्नेज में ये स्टॉक भी बच नहीं पाया है, इसमें भी काफ़ी सेलिंग प्रेशर हमने देखा हुआ है गए 2 से 3 महीनों में। पर ओवरऑल मेरे हिसाब से फंडामेंटली भी एक कंपनी स्ट्रांग है और टेक्निकली भी ये पहला दौर है या करेक्शन का दौर है। मैं चार्ट्स पे देख रहा हूँ, मंथली चार्ट्स पे, तो कहीं ना कहीं 240 और 250 ये स्तर पे स्टॉक संभल जाएगा, ये मेरा मानना है। तो वहां से एक रिकवरी अटेम्प्ट कर सकता है। एवरेजिंग के लिए अगर आप ओपन है तो 240 पे बाय करने की सलाह है। और कुल मिला के रिकवरी अटेम्प्ट में 340 और 390 ये दो टारगेट एरिया लॉन्ग टर्म के दायरे से आप देख सकते हैं, तो होल्ड करने की सलाह रही।
होल्ड करने की सलाह रहेगी आपको। उम्मीद करते हैं रुपेश जी आपके सवाल का जवाब आपको मिल गया होगा। नेक्स्ट व्हाट्सएप पर हमें दिव्या देनी लिखती हैं नोएडा से, हाय साक्षी, आई बॉट टाटा मोटर्स एट 840 and Bajaj housing at 138 and I feel stuck in these two stocks and I've been holding them for long. What should my strategy be? Well, Divya, thanks for writing in with your questions. Your questions are pretty valid. A lot of people have been feeling stuck at Tata Motors who bought the stock at a higher level, and for Bajaj housing also post the earnings there has not been a clear sharp uptrend that we have seen on the stock. But both the companies are from the largest conglomerates in India. Let's find out what exactly is the chart structure saying for both these. Akshay will tackle Tata Motors first, since a lot of investors bet big on Tata Motors in last year when the stock had a one-way run up, and it really gave promising returns to investors. But those who actually entered late in the latter part of the rally, probably just over 800 odd levels, they have actually not seen the stock moving for last few months. And the stock also slipped below 700 at one point in time. So again, a lot of people are losing the confidence. Again, there was also some issue with regards to JLR margins. The company has been reporting again troubles as far as both the CV as well as passenger vehicle demand is concerned. In the last 1 year, 23-24% of a decline has come in despite the run up in the last 1 year odd on a one-way rally that we had seen from February of 2023 all the way up to the last few months of 2024, and from that time there has been a considerable amount of decline. Your suggestion?
Tata Motors last 6 months, yes, a pain point, a one-way fall, not a single month of recovery. But now on the price charts, this is trading in heavily oversold zones. I see some positive divergent signals. When I say that, I mean there is a good probability which favors for a bounce back rally in Tata Motors from the given levels. So somewhere, consensus levels would be around 680 to 700 is the estimation where the stock might try to bottom out. And in case you see a recovery rally, 820, 840 is right now the upside or the recovery pullback I look forward to. But really from a long-term perspective, right now the momentum is completely off. We are just talking about a recovery rally. I might as well suggest that instead of Tata Motors, after the recovery rally which I'm anticipating, you might consider getting into some different name, because really from a long-term perspective things are a bit disturbed on the price chart. So the suggestion is look to take an exit slightly on a rally around 810. If you're open to averaging to kind of bring down your losses, this is the time to buy the stock for a recovery rally till 810.
Okay, and the other one is Bajaj Housing Finance. She bought it at 138. Any suggestion here? Here again, you don't have too long a chart, but any suggestion in the interim?
I think this price chart is weak. Right from the listing day, this stock has been under pressure. There has been consistent selling month on month, and there is no support formation as yet, which I see, although the prices are trading in oversold zones. So again, I think there might be some support formation again at 100, which is pretty far off from where we are right now. So would not recommend you to buy this. In case you're holding this, again, clearly the recommendation is to take an exit from this name.
Okay, I hope this has answered your question, Divya, on both the stocks that you've asked. Akshay, we have to let you go, but before that, could you suggest your own research-based stocks that you are looking at afresh now? There are some viewers who are commenting that Akshay sir had recommended BAML earlier, so they're thanking you for that. They made good money, and they want to know what's next for this one. Do you continue to be bullish on that one? And any other stocks that have come afresh onto your radar?
Stocks from here on, if you are looking at Bajaj Finance. Now, really, this is a very strong name. This has given you a multi-year breakout. That's almost happened after 2022. We saw this breakout happening this month itself at the levels of 8,000. So that's a very strong development on charts. So if you're trading momentum, it's already a bit overbought, but really from a medium to long-term perspective, I'm looking at targets of 9,500. There is a strong support at levels of 7,800. So even on dips around 8,000, in case the stock does offer, that's the price point where you need to buy or average the stock. Overall, a positive view with 9,500 targets. Second stock would be Kotak Bank, a similar price structure, longer term consolidation on the verge of a positive price breakout, and here I'm looking at targets of 2,500 plus with a time horizon of 1 year plus. So Kotak Bank and Bajaj Finance are the two names you can look forward to from investment perspective.
Okay, got that. Well, thank you so much, Akshay, then, for being with us on this edition to solve all the queries of our viewers. Always a pleasure to host you, and thank you so much for all your wonderful insights. Viewers, we'll move on to the second segment of our Daily Calls show, and now we will welcome another guest to answer all your queries. We have Ruchit Jain, Vice President and Head of Equity Technical Research Wealth Management at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Warm welcome, Ruchit. Good to have you with us. First up, tell us, in this current market setup, which is extremely volatile, are you looking for any opportunities to buy any stocks, or are you just waiting for the volatility to settle down? What exactly is the strategy you're adopting?
Hi, very good afternoon, Sakshi. Sakshi, I think you rightly said that volatility would be there in the near term, and one has to deal with this volatility because a lot of events were there in
Yes.
last 10 trading sessions. We saw budget, then Trump coming to power, where a lot of tariff-related news and come on. Now again, RBI policy would be there tomorrow. So it's more of a event-based movements that we are witnessing in the markets. But overall, we believe that no, we are not out of the woods yet, and the current up move which we have seen before the budget more or less seems to be a pullback move, and markets would go in a broad consolidation phase or a time-wise correction phase from here on. On the higher side, 24,000, 24,200 would be the major hurdle if the markets continue its up move post the RBI policy, and on the low side, 23,300, 23,200 would be the support zone. So we expect some time-wise correction to happen within this range, and primarily you saw that the FIS data is still not changing much. Of course, the long short ratio a couple of days ago was around just 10%, means 90% of the positions were on the short side, which are usually short heavy positions. They have covered some of the positions that the ratio has improved to 18%, but there are no signs of going aggressive along the cash segment that we have seen. So unless we see this cash segment selling, getting stopped or reducing significantly, I think on the higher levels, we would again face some selling pressure. So we are advising to take more of a stock specific approach rather than expecting any big direction move in the markets, at least in the short term.
Okay, got that. Ruchit, we'll start taking some questions from our viewers then. And, a lot of them are lining up with their questions. So let's start off by taking some of those questions. First is Gul. Gul wants to know on ADSL, that is Allied Digital Services, the stock is at 277.9. Today it's up by about 2.6% odd, and she has purchased the stock at 234. So profitable, that's a good part, but she wants to know, can she continue to add more at the current levels as well? What is the chart suggesting to you? More upside?
So I would say to hold on the existing positions because the overall trend remains very strong for the stock. The stock did correct along with the broader markets, but it again formed a good support base around its 200 DMA. And if you get any dip, maybe around 240 to 250 range, those would be good levels to add more positions over here. So hold on the existing positions, and you can keep a buy and dip strategy that if you get any next leg of corrective phase in the markets, then you look to buy more at lower levels.
Okay, let's take Tekpal Bhatia's question, and he wants to know on endurance tech. And his question is, a long-term view on endurance tech is what he needs. If you could look at the chart structure, today it's at 1970, a percent higher. Last 6 months there has been a decline of 20% odd, and year to date also, this month also it slipped about 12.5% odd. What is your own suggestion after it's considerably lost a lot of momentum in the last 6 months? Do you see a pickup happening?
The stock has corrected along with the broader markets, but there are no signs of trend reversal for now. On the longer term charts, the major support for the stock is coming around 1770, which is
Yeah.
still about 100 rupees lower from current levels. So I would advise not to do bottom fishing over here, but in case if you see any further corrections towards 1770, then you can take a review over there to take some contra trades.
Got that. Okay, let's take another one. This is Chandan Jain from Hubli in Karnataka. Writes in, I want to know on KRN heat exchanger. I got an IPO allotment. I want to know, should I book my profit or should I continue to hold? Well, Ruchit, very small, historic chart for you to really study here. 976 currently, but this stock has had a great run up post the IPO, and even today it's up by about 9.8 odd percent. So a strong surge is coming in. So for those who've been holding it since the IPO time, they have actually made good amount of profits. Could you look at the chart and tell us, is it possible to see momentum continuing going forward? I think last 3 weeks ago, there was a ace investor Mukul Agarwal who picked up a 1.6% stake, and after that also the stock gained momentum. Today again it's up and about. Will this continue or should one book profits and exit?
Just have limited data, but no, the at least the momentum seems to be positive. If you look at last few days, and compare
Yeah.
it with the broader markets move, then the stock has been really doing well with the increasing volume. So this is a good sign and indication of that the uptrend could continue going ahead. So I would advise to hold the existing positions, but yes, do keep some trailing stop losses. For now, immediate support is around 880. So in case if we see the stock going below the support, then you can look to book profit. And I think whenever we have such limited data and the trend is positive, so using a
Yeah.
trailing stop loss where if when the stock goes further higher, you keep on trailing your stop losses at higher levels. I think that should be the best strategy to ride this trend.
Okay, hopefully, Chandan, this has answered your question. Satyanarayan Rao Kulkarni writes in and he says, good afternoon. I want to know if any auto ancillary stock is good to look at the current levels. I am keeping Bosch and Samvardhan Motherson on my radar. Is any one of them good to add at the current levels or any other stock that you'd like to suggest? Auto ancillaries on his radar. Samvardhan Motherson, again an erstwhile favorite in the auto ancillary pack. Bosch, it's a unique story. Bosch is expensive, yet it's the only market that listed is in India. So that's a unique opportunity that investors really look at, both foreign as well as retail investors. Between these two, do you like any or any other stock that you'd like to recommend?
And if you're looking from a long-term perspective, then you can look to slowly and gradually accumulate both these names, Samadhan as well as Bosch, where the longer-term trend, I think still remains positive. And recently, we have seen more of a corrective phase. But if I have to pick any stock amongst the entire basket, then I think Exide Industries looks quite interesting, where we have seen that the post the price-wise correction at lower levels, a clear buying interest has been seen in the stock, where the volumes have again started improving. So Exide is another stock which within the auto ancillary space that you can keep on radar and look for buying opportunities there.
Got that. Let's take some other questions then. We have some WhatsApp based questions that we are getting. This is Krishna Arjun Rao from Odisha. He wants to know on PCBL, Philips Carbon Black. He has 10 shares at 435. He bought it on the Muhurat trading day of last year 2024, and he wants to accumulate more, but he wants to know what will be the right price to accumulate more and what is your medium term view on this stock, Rujit?
So overall medium to long term view is positive for the stock. Even this stock has seen some good price wise correction along with the broader market since in last 3 or 4 months. But if you look at the bit longer term chart, then around 330 the stock has a very strong support base, and last week's low was exactly around the 330 340 mark. So I think till that range is intact, I don't think there would be significant any price wise dip for now. There could be some time wise correction in which you can keep a strategy that if you get any kind of minor declines around maybe 350 or 350 370 odd range, then you can look to buy over there with a stop loss below 330. So yes, if you have a midterm view, downside seems to be very limited. In short term, we might see some time wise correction or consolidation, but in any such consolidation, if you get dips, look to buy at lower levels.
Okay, fair point. Let's get discussing some other stocks. Okay, Avdish Thakur, I sent in a question. He wants to know on Ujjivan Small Finance Bank says I have 44 के भाव पर 500 शेयर्स होल्ड किए हैं, अगले 2 साल तक के लिए टारगेट चाहिए उज्जीवन स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक पर। लॉन्ग टर्म होराइजन कैसा लगता है आपको यहाँ पर अभी रुचित?
इतना ज्यादा पॉजिटिव नहीं है, बट एक पुल बैक मूव एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं आपके कॉस्ट प्राइस के आसपास तक, 44-45 के आसपास तक। लेकिन अब देखेंगे तो विद इन द एनबीएफसी स्पेस ये एक अंडर परफॉर्मर रहा है नो पिछले कुछ महीनों में। सो जस्ट बिकॉज ओवरसोल्ड सेटअप्स है, काफी करेक्ट ऑलरेडी हो चुका है, तो पुल बैक मूव एक्सपेक्ट कीजिए। बट आपकी कॉस्ट प्राइस के आसपास आता है तो आई थिंक एक बार वापस रिव्यू करिएगा, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन के यहाँ से 44-45 कैसे वॉल्यूम्स के साथ जाता है, उस पर ज्यादा डिपेंड करेगा। और वहां पे लेकिन एक बार एग्जिट करने के लिए रिव्यू जरूर कीजिएगा।
Okay, got that. Let's take another one. This is from Ankur. He says, can I buy BEL at the current levels for long term? Okay, again, very volatile story when it comes to defense. After the July budget came in, there has been a one-way downside as far as the defense stocks are concerned. There has been some pullback in the last month, last 2 months odd, especially on stocks like BEL, but the momentum is not clearly suggesting whether this trend can continue. 284 for BEL, is it good to buy at the current levels for long term?
And if you're looking to accumulate only for long term, then start buying at lower current levels, but keep some room that if you get any dips in the near future again towards that 260, 240 range, then you could average out more at lower levels. So I think that should be a good strategy to buy the stock from a longer term perspective.
Okay, we have Abdul from Hyderabad writing in. This is on WhatsApp that we are getting. In fact, he's on the call with us. So let's get on the call with Abdul. Hi Abdul, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, madam. I'm fine.
Tell
मेरा
me.
सवाल ये है
जी.
कि मुझे CDSL और HCL टेक्नोलॉजीज और अशोका बिल्डकॉन, क्या ये अभी जो करंट प्राइस है ये क्या राइट प्राइस है परचेज करने के लिए, या फिर मैं कुछ और वेट करूं या और मार्केट नीचे जा सकता है इसके लिए?
आपका होराइजन क्या रहेगा? 1 साल से ऊपर, 2 साल से ऊपर, या शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए आप देख रहे हैं? 6 मंथ्स के लिए आप देख रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो 3 अलग अलग क्षेत्रों से आपने स्टॉक्स चुने हैं। पहला है आईटी का एक दिग्गज कंपनी HCL टेक, 6 महीने के लिए यहाँ पर नज़रिया बताइए पहले तो रुचित जी। और दूसरा CDSL, यहाँ पर हमने काफ़ी कल भी मोमेंटम देखा, पूरा ही स्पेस बस कर रहा था, कैपिटल मार्केट्स लिंक्ड स्टॉक है ये। और तीसरा अशोका बिल्डकॉन, जिसका जिक्र हमने शुरुआत में भी किया कि जो बजट के बाद इस स्पेस में कुछ खास मोमेंटम आया नहीं। तो अभी इन तीनों स्टॉक्स पर 6 महीने के लिए क्या नज़रिया होगा? एक एक करके लेते हैं, पहले HCL टेक।
तो HCL टेक आई थिंक अगर आप 6 मंथ के पर्सपेक्टिव से देख रहे तो कुछ ज्यादा बड़ा मूव एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करना चाहिए। रिसेंटली ऑलरेडी एक अच्छी तेजी ये आईटी स्टॉक में हो चुकी है और कहीं ना कहीं मंथली चार्ट्स पे थोड़े डाइवर्जेंसेस है, जिसके कारण स्टॉक एक कंसोलिडेशन फेज में रह सकता है। शॉर्ट टर्म पुलबैक मूव स्टॉक में रह सकते हैं फिर से अराउंड 1760 1800 की रेंज तक, बट कोई बड़ी तेजी एक्सपेक्ट आई थिंक एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं है। कंपेरेटिवली आई थिंक विद इन द ऑटो नेम, विद इन द आईटी नेम्स, दूसरे आईटी स्टॉक्स जो है जैसे मे बी विप्रो है कि जहाँ पे एक बड़े कंसोलिडेशन के बाद में ये स्टॉक ने एक वापस हाई टॉप हाई बॉटम का स्ट्रक्चर रिज्यूम किया है, वो आपको रिलेटिवली आउट परफॉर्म करता हुआ दिख सकता है। सो अगर आप 6 मंथ्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से देख रहे हैं तो विप्रो को प्रीफर कर सकते हैं लार्ज कैप आईटी नेम्स में से ओवर HCL टेक। इवन TCS के ओवरऑल स्ट्रक्चर नो बेटर है, सो TCS को भी प्रीफर कर सकते हैं ओवरऑल HCL टेक। नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू सेकंड स्टॉक विच इज CDSL। CDSL हमने देखा कि कैपिटल मार्केट सेगमेंट में एक तेजी के बाद में रिसेंटली करेक्टिव फेज आया है, हालांकि ज्यादा बड़ा डाउनसाइड स्टॉक में नहीं लग रहा है, बट इमीडिएटली नियर टर्म में थोड़े और करेक्शंस में स्टॉक 1170 1200 की रेंज तक आ सकता है, जो एक मेजर सपोर्ट जोन स्टॉक के लिए है। सो अगर आप इस स्टॉक को बाइंग करना चाहते हैं फ्रेश, तो बाय एंड डिप्स की रणनीति रखें। 1170 1200 के लेवल्स अगर मिलते हैं तो वो रेंज अच्छा रहेगा कि जहाँ पे आप स्टॉक को खरीदारी कर सकते हैं। और तीसरा आपका आखिरी स्टॉक जो था अशोका बिल्डकॉन, आई थिंक
जी।
यहाँ पे भी शॉर्ट टर्म के करेक्शन या कंसोलिडेशन फेज एक्सपेक्ट करने चाहिए। और स्टॉक में मेजर सपोर्ट अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ तो 200 से 220 की रेंज में है। सो आइडियली बाइंग एक्चुअली सपोर्ट्स के आसपास करें तो वहाँ पे रिस्क रिवॉर्ड रेशियो थोड़े फेवरेबल टर्न हो जाते हैं। सो यहाँ भी मैं बाय एंड डिप्स की रणनीति दूंगा, अगर 200 220 की रेंज मिलती है तो वो अच्छे लेवल्स रहेंगे खरीदारी करने के लिए।
ठीक है, आखिर के दो सवाल लेंगे अब हम मार्केट में और इस डेली कॉल्स में। सबसे पहले हम लेते हैं एक सवाल जो यूट्यूब के जरिए हमारे पास एक दर्शक का आया हुआ है। व्हाट शुड आई डू विद एक्सिकॉम स्टॉक? आई हैव 500 शेयर्स एट 300 levels and my view horizon was 2 to 3 years perspective, but what should I do now? Why this question is relevant is because Exicom shares today have hit a 10% lower circuit. This is after the company has posted weak set of earnings, 49 crore loss in Q3, and the stock has already declined 59% from its all-time high levels. Important to address this, Ruchit. Earnings not keeping up pace, stock price is down 60% from all-time highs. What is the strategy one should have? 300 is the purchase level.
Clear it can be seen from the price action that no, the structure is not very positive, and
Yeah.
it's not only this 1 days of decline is there in the stock. As you rightly mentioned, that is since last 6 months the stock has already been consistently underperforming the broader markets. So I think today it's already there's a circuit. If we see any kind of, if the circuit opens, you get downward small pullback moves. Take that as an opportunity to exit from the stock and rather look to invest that rest of the amount in some better name, which can lead to some recovery of your losses. But as of now, structure is not bullish at all. So you should not hold on to gains. If you get an opportunity, exit from this.
ओके, गॉट दैट। अतुल का एक सवाल है, ये गुड़गांव से हैं और ये पूछते हैं 7500 शेयर्स हैं इनके पास टिमकेन के, और जो प्राइस है इनके पास 518 के लेवल्स पर खरीदा हुआ है। 6 महीने के लिए ये रखना चाहते हैं स्टॉक को। 2016 में खरीदा था, लेकिन ऑलरेडी ये पीक को पास कर चुका है, जानते हैं। अब ये आपसे व्यू जानना चाहते हैं, काफ़ी लंबे अरसे के लिए रुके हुए हैं स्टॉक पर, और 518 पे लिया था तो प्रॉफिट भी दमदार है। काफ़ी लंबे अरसे से रुके हुए हैं, ऑलमोस्ट अगर हम देखें 8 साल तो हो ही चुके हैं इनको, और काफ़ी बढ़िया प्रॉफिट्स पर हैं। तो अब अगले 6 महीने का नज़रिया आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं, बने रहें या फिर पार्शली एग्जिट करें या पूरा एग्जिट कर दें?
मेरे हिसाब से तो पार्शली एग्जिट करना चाहिए, और अगर कुछ पुल बैक मूव ये नेक्स्ट 4-6 महीने में आते तो हाई लेवल से पूरा एग्जिट करने को भी देखना चाहिए। स्टॉक में अगर मैं मंथली चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर देखूं, क्योंकि आपकी बाइंग काफी पुरानी है, तो मैं लॉन्गर टर्म चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर्स पे देखूं तो जो मूविंग एवरेज के पॉजिटिव क्रॉसओवर्स हमने दिसंबर 2020 में देखे थे स्टॉक में, वो अब नेगेटिव टर्न हो चुके हैं। सो ऐसे फेजेस में यूजुअली आप बड़े मूव्स अब स्टॉक में एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करने चाहिए, और आप नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ्स में ही देख रहे हैं तो स्टॉक में इमीडिएटली 2500 का सपोर्ट है, क्योंकि 2500 पिछली बार भी ये स्टॉक में जो करेक्शन आया था मार्च 2024 में, तब 2525 के आसपास सपोर्ट लिया था। उसके पहले का सपोर्ट ले देखे तो नवंबर 2022 में उस टाइम पे कुछ 2600 के आसपास का लो स्टॉक ने बनाया था। तो आई थिंक 2500 इंपॉर्टेंट लेवल है सपोर्ट, वो इंटैक्ट रखता है तो आपको पुल बैक मूव जरूर मिल सकता है स्टॉक में, बट वो पुल बैक मूव में पोजीशन से लाइटन अप होने के लिए देखिए, और आपकी पोजीशन पे प्रॉफिट बुकिंग करने की सलाह रहेगी।
ओके, उम्मीद करते हैं आपको यहाँ पर अपने सवाल का जवाब मिल गया होगा। लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन द शो, मुनीर अजलू का ये सवाल है, ये तिरुपति से हैं, and he wants to know on Tejas Networks. He has the stock in his portfolio, 180 shares bought at 1150. He wants to know, should I hold or add for the long term? Tejas Networks 878 currently. It has really fallen sharply from his purchase level. 1150 was his purchase price. What should he do?
So I would suggest to hold on the existing positions, but I will not suggest to do any kind of averaging for now. Major on the weekly chart, the 200 weeks exponential moving average support is coming around 780, so which is about 100 rupees lower from current levels. So in case if you get those levels around 780, then that would be good support to average out the stock over there. So hold to existing positions, and if you get any dip towards 780 mark, then look to average out at those levels.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Ruchit, for addressing all the queries of our viewers patiently. It's always a pleasure to listen to you, and a lot of our viewers appreciate the way you explain to them what is the right strategy. So always good to have you. Keep coming back on daily calls to get in touch with all our viewers. Viewers, we'll wrap it up at that now on this edition of Daily Calls. But in case there were still some questions that remain to be answered, keep sending them to us, and we will definitely take them in the next edition of Daily Calls. So do stay tuned and keep watching Business Today Television. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is the earnings special edition on Business Today. We're going to be focusing on Asian Paints earnings, and with us is the top management of the company. Mr. Amit Singhal is joining